Greetings and salutations. You found your way into another episode of our series on some of the stranger mysteries of the paranormal, spontaneous human combustion. Today, we're taking a look at folks who spontaneously exploded into flames, seemingly for no reason at all, in the absence of any known ignition source outside of their own bodies. SHC, spontaneous human combustion, in which humans spontaneously combust in ways that result, most often, in the complete combustion of the human while leaving the objects around them unaffected. Spontaneous human combustion, sometimes dubbed SHC, has seen its fair share of paranormal and non-paranormal speculation and explanations. But, as can be the case, none of them can be said to be true. 1. Historical accounts. We have some records of spontaneous human combustion going back as far as the 17th century. Occasional news reports from back then contain descriptions of people who would burst into flames, leaving nothing but a charred skeleton with very little evidence or sign of having been exposed to fire. These early fire deaths would be shrugged off by regular investigators as acts of the divine, God's wrath, the devil's demonic possession, you name it. Notorious examples include the 1951 death of Mary Reeser, who was boiled alive, or at least she was evenly crisped up everywhere except her left foot. Decades after the fact, the unusual case of Reeser and various other baffling deaths remain unresolved by scientists and paranormal investigators alike, and many still quibble over just what is it about firewalking that allows a small percentage of people to walk away from lethal flames. 2. Theories and speculations. It has never been possible to make the various theories of spontaneous human combustion add up, made especially difficult by the inadequacy of the victim's remains to pin down a cause of death, given that most of him or her is destroyed in the process. Some argue that it is a wick effect. One's clothes act as an absorbent wick for the body fat, which soaks in until the process catalyses slowly into combustion. Some blame it on static electricity, others, chemical reactions in the body while sleeping or relaxing. However, their advocates are quick to point out that they do little to explain the velocity or violence of the fry, burn patterns are still largely unexplored, and isolation dimming and localized fire damage continue to tax the mainstream. The arena is still wide open for more speculative tracks. 3. Paranormal perspectives. In addition to scientific theories of SHC per se, paranormal hypotheses propose a preternatural, supernatural or metaphysical basis of SHC. Spontaneous human combustion has been attributed to psychokinesis or mind-produced fire, sometimes allegedly from within, the property of the human mind to involuntarily produce and display energy from the body, and sometimes from its preset environment and other unreflective source influential upon humanity, but considered inexplicable otherwise by the orthodox scientific approach. Thus, these extrasensory directions are perpetrating a provocative hypothesis about the possible role and effects of informational, non-conscious soma on physical reality. Provocative or not, in taking the possible path of introspection to human combustion that wildly flies off into the abyss of spontaneity, these openings provide a range of exciting possibilities from a physiology standpoint. 4. Modern investigations. Only in recent years have modern studies of SHC started to make sense of this mystery, with investigators returning to the suspected SHC scenes to test lakefront homes and beachfront hotels. They collect samples and conduct post-mortem studies on the few bodies of those who survived such fires to figure out what makes them different from conventional ones. However, the outcomes are ambiguous, and the mystery continues, unfolded in the mostly unresolved indirect evidence, preserved as part of the lingo for the paranormal/scientific. In the end of our journey through spontaneous human combustion, most of our questions haven't been answered. Was it really spontaneous human combustion that afflicted these men and women, or are there more prosaic answers for the odd case of explosive human bonfires? And so it goes. Thanks for coming along on the ride to SHC Limbo. Keep asking questions, but by all means, doubt them, too, and may the next silly firework mystery you're confronted with end in an indispensable lesson.
If you liked this video, please like and share it, because a real hero shares the inspiration.